This is a guided meditation journey to celebrate the summer solstice, a guided meditation for illumination and joy. We arrive at the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The sun stands at its highest point above the earth, pouring warm light across fields and forests, rivers and gardens, ripening berries on the vine and coaxing flower into bloom. It fills the world with abundance. In us, this season enlivens the heart and makes it easier to connect with joy, connection, laughter, intimacy, celebration, and love. Fire is the spark within all living things that says yes to life. It's the warmth of friendship and the delight of beauty, the wonder that catches your breath, and the simple happiness of being alive. Take a few floss breaths now. Gentle breaths in and out through the nose. Allow the exhale to become just a little longer than the inhale. As you draw the emerald green light of earth up through the center of your body and offer it to heaven. As you exhale, draw the shimmering golden light of the sun down through the crown of your head and offer it to earth. Allow your heart to become the meeting place of heaven and earth, the sacred altar where these two great forces meet in their joyful sacred union that gives rise to all of life. Notice if there's any place within you where the breath hesitates, any place where the emerald light and the golden light seem to meet a little resistance or constriction. Place a hand there if you like, and allow your breath to floss gently through that place, loosening old tensions and softening old emotions, creating a little more room for life to move through you. Pause here now, just for a few breaths. Now, allow your imagination to carry you to the edge of a summer meadow. The air is rich with the scent of warm grass and clover blossoms and sun-heated earth. The honeybees drift lazily from flower to flower. Crickets sing from hidden places in the grasses, and somewhere nearby a bobolink calls. The meadow stretches before you in countless shades of green. Lupins swaying gently in the breeze. Buttercups scatter golden pools of color amongst the grasses. Tall sprays of bishopsweed catch the sunlight like lace. The grasses themselves have begun to flower, and their seed heads nodding softly in the afternoon warmth. You're barefoot. The grass brushes softly against your calves as you begin walking in the meadow. The sun feels warm on your shoulders. A dragonfly flashes blue and green beside you before vanishing among the flowers. Ahead, rising gently from the center of the meadow, is a hill that you don't remember seeing before. Something about it catches your attention now. You find yourself walking toward it without quite knowing why. And as you climb, the sounds of the ordinary world begin to soften. The bees grow quieter. The bird song becomes more distant. Even the wind seems to lower its voice. By the time you reach the crest of the hill, a great stillness surrounds you. And there, waiting on the hilltop, stands a circle of standing stones. Some are taller than you, some are covered with silver-green lichen. Others are draped in moss so old it seems to be woven to the stone itself. Wild roses are climbing between them. Tiny blue forget-me-nots growing from cracks at the base. The stones feel impossibly ancient, as though they've been standing here since before memory, as though they have witnessed countless solstices come and go. A slight tingling moves across your skin. You realize you've arrived somewhere sacred. As you step between the stones, the air itself seems different, alive, listening, waiting. You slowly make your way toward the center of the circle, and that's when you notice the sparks, tiny golden points of light rising from the earth. At first you think they're fireflies, but fireflies don't dance in broad daylight. One spark becomes 3, 3 becomes 10, and soon hundreds of tiny golden lights are spiraling upward from the center of the stone circle. They swirl and weave around each other like a flock of luminous birds. You stop and watch. Their sparks gather together, circling faster and faster, and as they do, a low humming begins to move through the stones. You feel it more than hear it, a deep vibration beneath your feet and in your chest. The ancient standing stones seem to stir from a long sleep. The lichen-covered surfaces glow softly in the afternoon sun, and the moss appears greener somehow and more alive. And for a brief moment, you have the distinct feeling that the stones are aware of your presence, that they know you have arrived, that they have been waiting. The humming grows stronger, the sparks circle faster, and suddenly they begin to gather themselves into a single point of light, and a small flame appears, no larger than a candle flame, and it flickers once and twice, and then begins to grow. The flame dancing with a strange intelligence. It seems playful, almost joyful, as though it recognizes you, as though it has been expecting your arrival. The golden fire grows taller and brighter, yet there is no smoke, no scent of burning, only warmth, only welcome. Something deep within you recognizes this fire. This is no ordinary flame. This is the Solstice Fire, a living portal, a sacred threshold. And somehow you know that if you choose to step through it, you will be carried beyond the ordinary world and to the gathering that has been taking place here every summer solstice for longer than memory can recall. The solstice fire waits patiently before you. The ancient stones hum softly around you. The sparks continue spiraling upward into the bright summer air. You know you have been invited here, and you know the choice is yours. And taking a deep breath, you step forward. You place one foot into the golden flame and then the other. And immediately the fire rises around you. It's not hot, not burning, but instead it feels like standing inside sunlight itself. Golden ribbons of warmth are swirling around your body, tiny sparks dancing through your hair and across your skin, through every corner of your being. The fire moves through you like a living intelligence, gently, lovingly, as though it knows exactly where old sorrows have settled, exactly where disappointments have gathered, exactly where you've forgotten your own joy. The golden flames moves through these places, loosening what has become heavy. Old worries unravel and drift away as sparks. Old hurts dissolve into light. Things you have carried for far too long simply melt away. The fire asks for nothing, it only transforms, and with each passing moment you feel lighter, more spacious, more alive. A laugh rising unexpectedly in your chest, and then another. You feel a bubbling sense of delight moving through you, as though some forgotten part of yourself is waking up. The part that knows how to dance, how to play, that remembers that being alive is a miracle. The flame continues to swirl around you, and gradually you begin to notice something beyond the fire. At first it's only sound, the distant rhythm of a drum, a flute carried on the wind, laughter, voices singing somewhere just beyond the flames. As the fire begins to lower, shapes slowly emerge around you, and you realize that you're no longer standing alone in the stone circle. The world itself has shifted. The meadow is still here, but brighter somehow, more vivid, more alive. The colors shimmer with richness you've never seen before. The grasses sway in waves of emerald and silver, and tiny lights drift among the flowers. The air itself sparkles. All gathered around the circle are beings who have come to celebrate the solstice. Some appear to be human and others do not. Ancestors standing beside nature spirits, tall, luminous beings woven from sunlight and meadow grass mingle with the people dressed in crowns of flowers and ribbons. Some wear cloaks embroidered in wildflowers. Some have antlers adorned with roses and ivy. Some seem almost transparent, as though made from sunlight itself, yet all of them feel familiar, as though you've known them for a long time, as if they know you. Then you become aware that something else has changed. And looking down, you realize that the clothing you stepped into the fire with is gone, and in its place you now wear garments woven from the spirit of summer itself. Light flowing fabrics moving softly around you, catching the sunlight with every movement. The colors seem drawn from the meadow, blues and greens and golds and creams, soft rose. Perhaps a shawl drapes loosely across your shoulders, perhaps a ribbon dancing in the breeze, perhaps delicate embroidery of flowers and vines along the hem. On your head rests a crown of woven summer blossoms, lupin and buttercup, wild rose and oxeye daisy, and you feel beautiful, not because of how you look, but because the original spark of your life has been rekindled. You feel as if you're glowing with the light of your heart. The fire has revealed the radiance that was always there. Now it is brighter and more visible to all. The music grows louder, the drums, the flutes, voices lifted in song. The entire gathering radiates joy, not the fleeting happiness of getting what you want, but the deeper joy that comes from belonging completely to life. As the golden flames settle to the knees, you look out and find smiling faces waiting beyond the fire, and hands reach toward you, welcoming you, celebrating your arrival. You gracefully step over the edge of the solstice fire and clasp the waiting hands, and cheers rise from the gathering. The drums quicken, the laughter ripples through the crowd, and just like that, you're swept into the celebration. You dance amongst the gathered being, bare feet moving across the soft meadow grass. The drums echo the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Laughter mingles with birdsong. Someone presses a cup of cool berry cordial into your hands, and someone else places a garland of flowers around your shoulders. The celebration swirls around you in waves of music and joy, and for a time you simply give yourself to belonging to it. To laugh, to dance, to celebrate the gift of being alive beneath the summer sun. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the music begins to soften. The drumming grows quieter. The dancers come to rest, and one by one the conversations fade, and a hush settles across the gathering. You notice that every face has turned toward the solstice fire. The expectant silence feels almost reverent, as though everyone knows that something special and sacred is about to occur. You turn toward the fire as well, and you wait. The entire gathering stands in silence. Even the meadow seems to be listening. The grass becomes still, the birds fall quiet, and for a brief moment it feels as if the whole world is holding its breath. Then the solstice fire begins to change. At first it's only a single strand of blue flame weaving among the gold, then a ribbon of emerald green, then violet, and the colors twist and dance together, rising higher and higher into the evening sky. Gasps rippling softly through the gathered crowd, and you sense the excitement, the wonder, the reverence. This is what they've all been waiting for. The blue and green and violet flames continue to rise until they tower above the stone circle like a living aurora. The colors shimmer and flow and weave great curtains of light overhead. The ancient stones glow in response. The meadow itself seems illuminated from within. Every flower, every blade of grass, every face, everything shines. And then the colored flames spread outward, not burning, not consuming, just illuminating. The living light pours through the entire gathering, through the stone, through the meadow, through the trees at the edge of the field, and through your own body. You can see straight through things now, not with your eyes, but with some deeper way of seeing, a heart seeing. Nothing remains hidden in this light, and yet there's no judgment here, only understanding, only compassion, only truth. The blue, green, violet flames continue expanding until the entire stone circle is filled with luminous light. The gathering bows their heads, and you follow their lead, and then you feel it. A presence, ancient, immense, and wise. The presence seems as old as the first spark ever struck from stone, as old as the first sunrise, as old as the stars themselves. And slowly from the very heart of the solstice fire, a figure begins to emerge, the spirit of fire. Perhaps they appear as a radiant woman crowned in flame, or a great stag whose antlers glow like embers, or as a serpent of living light, or a being of pure fire and brilliance beyond any earthly form. The spirit of fire appears exactly as you need them to appear. They step forward from the center of the flames, and every being gathered around their circle presses a hand upon their hearts, because the arrival of the spirit of fire expands and fills the heart with joy to bursting. They know they stand in the presence of one of the ancient keepers of life itself. The spirit of fire turns toward you and smiles. Their eyes hold the warmth of 1,000 hearth fires, the brilliance of the summer sun, and the fierce tenderness of love. You feel completely seen and not judged, not measured, simply seen. Every joy and sorrow, every hope or wound, every beautiful and imperfect part of your humanity. The spirit of fire steps closer, and as they do, the blue, green, violet flames seem to soften, wrapping the gathering in a cocoon of luminous light. When they speak, their voice sounds like many things at once: the crackle of a campfire, the laughter of friends gathered around a table, the song of summer insects on a warm evening, the roar of the sun itself. Welcome. The single word settles deep within your heart. On this longest day, when the sun stands at its highest point, the light reaches places hidden during the rest of the year. The spirit gestures toward the luminous flames surrounding the gathering. Many believe illumination means exposing what is wrong, but the deeper purpose of illumination is remembrance. To remember who you are and why you came, to remember the original spark that has always lived within you. And the spirit places a hand over their own heart, and a small flame appears there, golden and steady, alive. You carry this same flame within you. It has never left. It may have become hidden beneath fear or disappointment, beneath grief, beneath the demands of living, but it has never gone out. And as the spirit speaks, you begin to feel the warmth glowing inside your own chest, a tiny ember, a familiar ember, as though some forgotten part of yourself is awakening. The spirit smiles again. Today, the light of the solstice offers a gift. For a brief moment, you may see it clearly, not through the eyes of fear or old stories, but through the eyes of your own soul. And the spirit raises a hand. Blue, green, violet flames rise gently around you, not outside you, but within you, around you, through you, illuminating every corner of your being. If there is something your soul wishes to know, if there's a burden that's ready to be released, or a truth that's ready to be remembered, if there's a next step that's waiting to be taken, let it come now. And the spirit steps back. The luminous flames hold you gently, and you open yourself to receive whatever wishes to be revealed. Allow images, sensations, words, memories, feelings, or a simple knowing to arise. There's nothing to force, nothing to figure out, only to receive. As the images, feelings, and knowing begin to settle, you become aware once again of the presence of the spirit of fire standing before you. The blue, green, violet flames continue to dance softly through the stone circle. The spirit nods gently as though they understand exactly what has been revealed, exactly what has been remembered, exactly what has been begun. You don't need to understand it all today. The seed that does not become a flower in a single afternoon. An ember does not become a living hearth fire in a single breath. What has been revealed will continue to unfold in its own time. The spirit extends their hands toward the center of the solstice fire. The flames gather together, swirling and concentrating into a single point of brilliant golden light. And slowly, the light begins to take shape, a gift created especially for you. Perhaps it appears as a glowing ember, or a golden seed, or a crystal, a feather, a flower, a small orb of light, or something entirely unexpected. The spirit receives the gift from the fire and places it gently into your hands. The moment it touches your palms, you recognize that it carries particular medicine, a quality your soul needs at this time. Courage or trust, joy, compassion, love, wonder, belonging, understanding, or perhaps it's something else. Take a moment to notice what the gift is that has been given to you. Notice its shape, its color, its texture, its energy. Notice what quality or blessing it carries. The spirit of fire smiles. This is yours, a reminder of what you remembered here today, a companion for the path ahead. You need only carry the next step. With great care, you bring this gift to your heart, and as it touches your chest, it dissolves into a stream of golden light, and the light flows into your heart center, into your blood, your bones, and every cell of your being. The gift becomes part of you. The original spark within your heart glows brighter, steadier, warmer. Around you, the gathered place their hands on their hearts. A blessing begins to move through the circle. You can feel it flowing from being to being, from ancestor to spirit, from spirit to human, from human to ancestor, the great web of life, love, and belonging. And now that blessing flows toward you. Take a moment to receive it. Feel yourself welcomed, supported, celebrated, and loved exactly as you are. Gradually, the blessing settles into stillness. The gathered beings lower their hands from their hearts. The meadow glows softly beneath the golden light of the solstice evening. The spirit fire looks around the circle at the ancestors and the nature spirits, the luminous beings, the flower-crowned dancers, and at you. And a smile spreads across their face, and when the spirit raises both hands, immediately the drum begins once more, softly at first, a heartbeat, then stronger. The flutes join in. Laughter ripples through the gathering. The celebration begins again. Not the wild excitement from before, but the deep joy that follows a blessing received. You notice something seems changed. Faces are brighter, hearts more open. The gathering has been touched by the gift of illumination. Each being carrying a little more understanding, a little more freedom, a little more light. And for a time, everyone dances together. Ancestors, nature spirits, and luminous beings. Flower-crowned revelers, all moving together beneath the summer sun. You dance, you laugh, you celebrate. You give yourself to fully belonging. And eventually the spirit of fire approaches you one final time and places a hand gently upon your shoulder. It's time, they say, and you nod. Though part of you wishes to remain, the spirit smiles knowingly. This place is never far away. The door opens whenever you approach with wonder. The fire burns whenever you tend the spark within your own heart. The gift you receive today travels with you, and so do we. And the spirit gestures toward the solstice fire, and once again the golden flames rise gently from the center of the stone circle, waiting, welcoming, and ready. One by one, the gathered beings offer you their blessings, and some bow, some place a hand on the heart, some touch your shoulder as you pass, and others simply smile. You realize each one is sending you home with a blessing, a little more joy, a little more courage, a little more love, a little more wonder. You place your hand over your heart and offer your gratitude to the gathering and the ancestors, to the spirits of the meadow and to the ancient stones, to the spirit of fire and to life itself. And then you step once more into the solstice fire. The golden flames rise around you, warm and welcoming, familiar this time. The music grows softer, the voices more distant, the luminous meadow begins to fade. The figures of the gathered shimmered like sunlight on water. The flames swirl around you one final time and then gently settle. You find yourself once again standing within the ancient stone circle, dressed in your familiar clothes. The great stones are quiet now. The humming has ceased. The sparks have disappeared. Only the summer meadow surrounds you. The late afternoon sun still shines overhead. It feels as if no time has passed at all, and yet something has changed. You place your hand upon your heart, and the gift remains there. The ember still glows. Your original spark burns a little brighter. You make your way slowly down the hill, the grasses brushing against your legs, honey bees drifting among the flowers, the breeze ruffling in your hair. The familiar world has returned, and yet you see it differently now. It's more beautiful, more alive, more precious, and at the edge of the meadow you pause and look back. And for a moment you think you see a flicker of golden light atop the hill, a reminder that the solstice fire still burns, a reminder that the doorway remains open. And then you turn toward home, carrying the warmth of the sun, the blessing of the gathering, and the living flame of your own heart. And when you're ready, you can bring your awareness back to the room, back to your breath, to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes, carrying the gift of the solstice with you.